Hello there, I'm Scotty. Welcome back to Retro Rewind. We take a look at something from the '90s and early 2000s. Today, it's Morphin time as we go back to the mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I've talked about the movie, which introduced the ninja powers. Twice. I talked about that twice. I did a review, I did a revisited. Check those out. But I've never talked about the actual episodes that made it canon. That's right. The show was on hiatus while they were filming towards the end of season 2, and then in Australia, Drake moved to Australia. That's not even an Australian accent. Yes, it is. Fromage. That's French. Anyway, because whenever I say Australia, I think of that. Australia. So then they filmed that, and they shot those episodes, and then, season 3 came along, and they opened up season 3 with a bang! With a 3-parter that doesn't feel like an opener. Because it's actually a backdoor pilot for The Masked Rider. Friend in Need was the first 3-parter. And I always feel like that should have been the final 3 episodes of season 2. But I get why they couldn't do that. There's too much prediction the other ways, the movie, all that stuff. So, yeah. So instead we got it at the beginning of season 3. But, ignoring that, because I always say it's not actually the season premiere, because season premiere has to, tell us where the season's going to go, and that's what this does. This unnecessary 4-parter. Yeah. This could have been 2, maybe 3 parts at best, if you took out all the Bulk and Skull shit. Right? Actually, you could condense it down. If you start the first scene of this, if the first scene of this was Rito showing up on the moon and all of that, and then the Rangers are just at the juice bar and they get a call that there's something going on and they fight Rito, this could be 2 episodes. There's just so much spread out, and the fact we are following the Power Rangers on a major quest to get their powers back. But let's cut back to Bulk and Skull being goofs at the police academy for no reason. It feels disjointed to me watching it now. And I do like that song. Shape it up, shape it up, shape it up, Bulk and Skull. I do like that, but it's just like, why did it have to be 4 episodes? It just feels like this stuff needs to be in here, right? This is also a farewell to the Thunder Zord powers, or the Thunder Zords. They are destroyed. They are gone. So that means that their original Dinosaur powers, except for the Dragon Zord, original Dinosaurs except for the Dragon Zord, and later we find Titanus, are gone. I also want to point out that turtle thing, technically still not destroyed. It's somewhere, but we never see it again. That turtle thing, I don't know what it's called, that makes the Thunder Ultra Zord. That thing is never destroyed yet. We never see it again. So, let's go ahead and we'll go through this episode. A lot happens. It's 4 parts, so I have to use this. For the last one I did, the Influence musical, I didn't look at anything. I did it all off my head because I went so quickly. But this is 4 parts, so Lord Zed and Rita are celebrating their wedding anniversary, even though their wedding was at the end of season 2, and it has not been a year since they got married. Seriously, I had the box right here. The wedding, which was in season 2, Oh. I'm like, wait. Yeah, the wedding was episode 41, 42, and 43 of season 2. And they're celebrating their wedding anniversary. Of what? 2 months? No way it's been a year. Because, like, during the wedding, that's when they were filming in Australia for the movie. In Australia for the movie. So there's no way it's been a year. Maybe it's a year since they filmed it, but... No. Anyway. He gives Rita a new telescope, which they spy on the Power Rangers, who are, of course, competing in some stupid thing that they're obviously going to win. I always roll my eyes when they do this. We have to have them doing some weird thing. I wonder who was going to win. Could it be the main characters of the show? So the Angel Grove volleyball team, which consists only of our 6 main characters, are fighting the Stone Canyon team. Right? At least when they did the karate tournament stuff towards the beginning of the series, there was like a couple random guys in the background or something, you know, to kind of live it up. But here's no, it's just all our 6 characters. Right? Yeah. This is stupid. A loud explosion goes off near the Moon Palace, so loud that Billy hears it from Earth. That is scientifically impossible. And a skeleton monster comes crawling out of the explosion site. This is Rito Revolto. Rita's brother, who has a different last name for some reason. Yeah. He puts some eggs down and then teleports into Zed's throne room. Zed is angry first, but Rita's like, oh, that's my brother. I know you do her voice. Sound more. Rito quickly proves himself to be an idiot and a nuisance, and annoys Zed and Goldar, and pronounces Zed as Ed. Hey, Ed. Oh, I mean Zed. It's Zed! And he teases that he couldn't conquer Earth. So they have there are eggs out there. He refuses to tell what it is because it's a wedding gift. Oh, it should be an anniversary gift. Zed, of course, is annoyed by this, but annoyed by him. And they ask the egg moves. She decides to lure the Rangers into a trap using Rito as a decoy. And Finster recreates 4 of their monsters. The Lizinator and a couple other ones as a way to the volleyball. So, of course, our heroes win the volleyball tournament. Because, of course, they do. And they're celebrating at Ernie's. Sans Tommy, because he conveniently was not there for filming, I guess. Jason Derulo was not there. It's never really explained. He's just not there. And then, like, at first, Ernie's like, hey, whoever wins gets free food. And, like, Bulk and Skull's question of, what about those who cheer for the winners? And at the end, he's like, everyone gets free food. So they all go to the first appearance of the outdoor cafe, which I thought didn't show up till Turbo or Zeo, but I guess it shows up here. Yes, they are enjoying the food, Bulk and Skull too, and they hear a couple of hotties, in their opinion, hottie girls, talking about how they love a man in uniform. So this inspires Bulk to announce that they are going to join the Junior Police Patrol, to the shock of everyone, including Skull. And I want to point out, they told these people to act shocked, and they did it. They were like, there is one guy, every time I see this clip, that I think is Rocky, because he's wearing the same exact clothes and has the same exact hair. He goes, and it's weird because they're sitting at the same table as Billy, or as Aisha and Adam. And so you see this dude, red tank top, little 90s part hair. You go, but then I rewound it a couple times and I go, that's not Rocky. Rocky is right over here. And they're all surprised. So yeah, and we'll get back to that in another part, because we don't come back to it till later. I guess. So, Finster recreates here they have the monsters that die. The Fighting Flea, Lizardinator, Octophantom, and Stag Beetle. I only recognize the Lizardinator and Stag Beetle from something. I guess Octophantom and Fighting Flea. They're dispatched to accompany Rito, who arrives outside the city. So, the monsters all hide, and Rito's complaining they took the best ones. And but Fighting Flea's like, "You're the bait!" So Rito sits down, and everyone else hides. So, of course, the viewing globe detects him. So they're not able to identify him due to system failures at the command center, which makes no sense because nothing's happened yet. So they contact the Rangers and summon everyone there, and then Tommy is just there somehow. Somehow Tommy returned. He wasn't with them, and they say, we'll contact Tommy, have him meet there as soon as you can. But then when they teleport, he's just with them. Rito shows up, and everyone morphs. With the last time we get the call of their dinosaurs and the right tiger, Tigerzord, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-tooth tiger, Tyrannosaurus. It's the last time we get the calls. That is the last time we see the Thunder Megazord and the White Tigerzord. Which, yes, and this is like about to finish them off. The other four monsters show up and turn their favor around and beat the crap out of them and destroy the Zords. Yes. And all this costing their power suit because I guess there's a power surge. I guess. Because they're warned. Alpha tries to feed as much power to the Zords as he can. Warn them that could cost them their powers. They don't care that it's worth it, and it overloads. And I thought that it causes massive damage to the command center. And at the end of this, the control panel is still intact, but then in the next episode it's not. That's a... Rito and the monsters are too strong, and the Rangers have to escape, and their powers are gone, and the Zords fall to pieces and explode. End of part 1, and according to this, which I think is wrong, they say this is the first time that during the credits there's a blooper or an extra scene. No, because when I was fast forwarding through the first 3 episodes, they also had that, so I don't know. But this extra scene is the bad guys, Lord Zed and Rita, celebrating in their castle that they won. Now, part 2 starts with Rangers having no powers. And they have to take the long walk back to the command center because it's in the middle of the frickin' desert. Why is it in the desert? To be far away from society. Yes, and the villains celebrate. I do like Goldar's, well, if I had 4 monsters helping me, I'd beat them too. Sure you would. His point is actually proven later. By the way, we'll get there. Like, so then they have no powers, and the command center's powers are almost depleted, which brings up the question how Zordon is still able to be in his what you call it, right? His time warp, as they said. I guess they just didn't want to rehash the plot from the movie where the power destruction caused him to be released from the time warp and he's dying. So they just don't address how losing the power to the command center would certainly also deplete his power. They don't. Nothing. So they find that there is a hidden temple, no Olmec, in the Desert of Despair, where Ninjor, or as Kimberly says later, Ninja. Little close to another word there, Kim. Just saying. Ninjor, please. I'm joking. And I said Ninjor. So, he forged the original power coins. So, So it'd be dangerous. They don't want to send them, but it's like, we have to. We are the Power Rangers. We have to do this. And so Zordon uses the last of the command center's power to teleport them to the desert. I do want to point out that he's still in his time warp, so how that's the last of the powers, I don't know. Meanwhile, back in Angel Grove, filler. Yeah, this is where Bulk and Skull arrive at the police academy, and I'm watching these parts. Every time it cuts to them, I just go, why? Why? Why do we need to be plot? This could easily fit to 2 hours, to a 2 hour. This is 2 hours. To a two-parter if you take out this stuff. Like, well, I understand that it's a plot point for the season going forward. Sure. The season going forward, but I don't know. And Skull is having second thoughts after seeing them do so much running, and I go, well, they wrote that wrong. Because, yes, obviously, the skinny guy who is in better shape would have a problem with running, and not the fat person who is not in shape, who has to drag Skull in there. It's should be the other way around, yes. Anyway, back on the moon, the eggs hatch, and they introduce. He can't remember what it was. Now, if I remember what it was, I'll give you the count of 10. 1, 2, 10. 10 Tengas, or Tengu warriors, as I said in the movie, but Tengas, because those are part of the. They got to use those. So. Yeah. One of the eggs is unhatched over, and that is actually a vampirus monster. So, that will come into play with 10 minutes left of part 4. Yeah, I always found it disappointing. Where it's like, this building up this big monster, and it takes forever to get to. When you get to it, it's just for the final battle of this 4-parter, and it's not really anything. So, there is a thing that mentions that Rita wanted a nice little pet to take over when they were younger, but was offended when she was given a dragon as a gift, and she set the entire house on fire, which implies that everyone else was humanoid, and then that like Rito turned to a skeleton, but her dad is like a monster. I don't know. Master Vi would meet. We never meet their mother, but. So Zed is able to use his magic visor thingy to see that the Rangers are in the Desert of Despair seeking the Temple of Power, so they send the Tengas to attack the Rangers, and we have a fight. Part 2, they are not morphed at all. We have a fight, but there's a fire trap. The effects aren't very good. They think that they spot there's a quicksand pit, which is also not very good. There's a rock formation that they think is what the map is directing them to. The Tengas arrive to fight, and they are too powerful without powers. Better than the putties. By the way, I think the putties are gone by this point. They might also show up at some point, but I don't know. The Rangers run to the rock formation, and they say, they're too big to fit in here, even though if the one Tenga just turned, he'd be able to squeeze through, but whatever. And Adam accidentally hits this hidden switch that's obviously plastic and just goes whoop to the side when he pumps it. And so it opens and they go through the tunnel to a dead end. And oh my god, this scene is overacted. Sorry, Amy Jo Johnson, but this is just like Tommy goes to punch a wall. He's like, goes through the wall, and she reacts with, Tommy! I'm just like, why? You just went do a thing, and you're like, it's like a time warp. It's like a warp thing. And so they both go in it, and the Tengas, they all go in, and the Tengas place the vampirus egg outside the rock formation as a way to stop them when they come out, which doesn't happen. He does not show up till 10 minutes left in the last episode. So I don't know why he's placed there to begin with, but he does go after Ninjora, I guess, but Padre! The Rangers step out of this thing to find themselves in a forest. Tommy is somehow not there, and I'm like, every time I watch this, I'm like, why is he not right there? And they go into, they're like a forest thing, and they walk up these steps, and they go in, and then they see Tommy just outside of a gate, and it's like, dude, because they're all yelling for Tommy, and he's just in there, like, oh, hey, there you are, and they hug him, and it's like, dude, you're a dick. Like, you go through a portal and decide, oh, my friend's on the other side, probably worrying about me. I should go exploring and make them worry more. What is that little brother from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? He was a dick. Yeah. They meet Ninjor, who is in a bottle. Is he supposed to be a genie? I never got that, but he's in a bottle. He comes out. He says, no. But once he finds out that their intentions are pure and they don't just want it for power, he agrees to help them. Meanwhile, back in Fillerland, Bulk and Skull are introduced to Lieutenant Stone, a character who would stay all the way till Turbo. He would take over the juice bar. So yeah, it was important to train them, and they have to go shave their heats. Oh, the ending of part 2 is the Tengas dancing on the moon. The post thing. I don't know why, it's just there. Yes. Ninja guides them to get their powers from deep within their souls with the power of ninja. They get new power coins and new ninja robes, and they're in the Ranger colors. Also, I want to point out, when they go through this portal, their Ranger colors emanate from around them, and I just like to know why. Anyway, and I have a new set of Ninja Zords. Meanwhile, back in Fillerland again. Oh my god. Bulk and Skull's training is very not impressive. We can but shape it up. Bulk and Skull. Yeah, it's kind of... Back at the Moon Palace, Zed is mad, as always. They got powers, and the man that Rito goes back to Earth, lots of full saw the Angel Grove. So, he calls him Ed again, and we move on. The Rangers have the ninja powers, and they leave the temple and battle the Tengas, and they kick their ass. Yes, they fly away. They flee. We fly. With what? Yes, and they're in ninja forms, and I noticed at this time looking at them, their faces are so wrapped up as to not show the stunt people. They're like, they couldn't even have the actors in there. It's very obviously not them. Not one shred of skin is shown. Ninja congratulates them for mastering their powers and sets them off to return to Angel Grove, with the vampire's egg left behind, and it's starting to hatch. And the little thing ends the episode is Bulk and Skull. It's a blooper of Bulk and Skull shaving their heads, and then they laugh, having their heads shaved. The reaction to their heads being shaved, and then they laugh. So, part 4. Let's finish this bitch. They return to Angel Grove to fight Rito with their new ninja Zords, and they kick his ass. And I refer you to Goldar's line earlier. If I had 4 monsters, I could beat them too. Yeah, so he needed 4 other monsters to help him destroy the 2 Thunder Zords. Yet, they decided, he's enough to face these 2 new Megazords. This new Megazord. It's 1 Megazord because Tommy's is not. This new Megazord. Yeah, he gets a flamethrower thing, and it's a weird thing because they can't show the fire hitting it. So it goes, and then it just goes, not even trying to get hit. But the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord, and they destroy the thing. He explodes, and then a weird little skull mushroom thing explodes. You fight survives away, lives to fight another day, which is weird, which is stupid because he clearly got destroyed. But they wanted to keep the character, but the Sentai footage showed character being destroyed, so they added that little effect, and him saying that to say actually he's still there even though he was destroyed. It's kind of stupid that he gets back to the moon. Meanwhile, back in the desert, the vampirus has Hatchet and is ready to capture the Temple of Power. That's not how that works, but anyway. They get back to the command center, and the command center is still in shambles, by the way. They don't miraculously fix it like in the movie. Angel Grove is quiet even though the alarm goes off. The viewing grove alarm goes off. And they're not able to search space because the deep space sensors are offline still. I don't even look at this disturbance. And this is where you really get, wow, they had to waste time, didn't they? This could have been 2 parts. Get rid of the Broken Skull, start, part, stop. What you could have done, okay? Instead of them fighting Rito again. They lose to Rito, they lose their swords. End of part 1. And then part 2. They go through the Desert of Despair, the Tengus show up, and they're forced into the thing. They find and convince Ninjor, they come out, they face the Vampirus, they win, that's it. That's the 2 parts. Because, like, they set it at the edge of the temple. I'm assuming the original idea when they did that was to face the Rangers when they came out, to stop them from getting out of their powers. But then somehow they're like, well, this has to last 4 parts. So they're like, no, actually, he wants to take over the temple now. Yeah. Meanwhile, back in Fillerland, Bulk and Skull are testing every one of Dennis Stone's nerves. I just say that verbatim. And they fail the test, but they get there. I do like the one where Bulk finally makes it over the jump thing, and Skull's underneath the little plank, and he goes, "He's so athletic." That's funny. Yeah. They try to slack off, but lose 10 stone. I do like when he peeps down the tunnel and goes, "You know, I can be your best friend, or I can be your worst nightmare. That's up to you." He does become their best friend. So, Vampirus then confronts Ninjor to come out and fight him in the desert. When he does, Rita and Zed make the monster grow, but Ninjor can grow himself and become a samurai-like thing. And I had the Ninjor when I grew up. I had the Ninjor. I had the Ninja Zords, the Ninja Megazord. I had a friend who had the Falcon Zord, and then he told me I could have it, and I took it home, and my mom said, "No, that's not yours." But my friend said I could have it. I don't care. You give it back. And as an adult, I learned, yeah, the parents spent money on that. So it's not, oh, I don't want it anymore, you can have it kind of situation, which is what it was. But the parents spent money on that, and yeah. But I would say this, parents, just because you bought it doesn't mean you have the right to throw it away. Because I have a gripe. Okay, this is a gripe. Alright, I had the Thunder Zords, I had the Tiger Zord, and I couldn't find my Tiger Zord anywhere. And I like to do a little dumpster diving. I like to do a little dumpster diving. As I dumpster dive, I found the Tiger Zord in there. And I brought it home. My mom goes, "Where you find that?" I said, "It was in the dumpster." She's like, "Put it back." I'm like, "No, I found it. Put it back." And that's when I realized it was mine that she threw away. And my mom has admitted she hated the fact that she threw the toys away because she could have saved them for the grandkids. So now, with my son's toys as he's getting older, she's not throwing them away. I wouldn't allow that anyway. Any Power Ranger stuff is coming home with me, if anything. But she's packing them away for future grandkids. So, yeah. She's getting smart. Anyway, so the fight is detected because the command center is now repaired. It's completed. And the Rangers set out to help Ninjor and the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord. This is where Ninjor gets to his battle mode and to wound Vampirus. Now the Rangers to finish him off with the plans foiled. Zed gets mad and yells at Rito. Alright. Ninjor gives congratulations to the Rangers and thanks them for the help, and that he will help them fight because we have footage of that. So, yeah. The Rangers and Ernie attend Bulk and Skull's graduation ceremony into officers of Angel Grove. I want to point out, I don't think becoming a police officer is that easy. I think you have to go through years of school and training. But it's a TV show for kids, who cares? And, yes. And they end up being clumsy and knocking a bunch of officers down like dominoes in the graduating class. Yeah. That's it. And the end of the episode thing is the book jumping over the thing, and he's so athletic again for some reason. So I know it is. There you have it. Ninja Quest. Is it better? Is it a better is it a better Ninja Powers story than the movie? No. I will say that the in-suit battles are better than the CGI in the movie, but I feel like the movie story works. Where this one, like you don't keep you cut back in the movie to Fred, but there's a point to that because it's also you're following Ivan Ooze. Here we pointlessly cut back to Welk and Skull becoming police officers, and it's like you didn't need that. You could have done you could have done one episode connected to that where they want to become officers and the Rangers help them get in shape or something. Well, who knows? But anyway, there you have it. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me know so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.